I am so excited to talk to our guest today. This is Victoria Konefal, one of my good friends. I'm so excited to talk to you about all of your success. So, I'm so excited for you and congratulations. This is the first time I've gotten to tell you, like face to face.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your first daytime Emmy for outstanding younger performer in a drama series. Oh my gosh, that is such a mouthful. Oh,
Oh, it
I'm
is.
so excited for you. Congratulations. What was that moment like when you found out?
Thank you so much. It was electric, is the only way I can describe it. And I almost like that this year the ceremony was a little bit different because of COVID. So we had pre-recorded everything like 2 weeks before it actually aired. So
Yeah.
that way I got to be in a hotel room with like a select group of people who were just rooting for me. We were all partying and living it up. And like, no matter what the outcome was, I knew that I was in a room full of people who supported and loved me. But the moment I found out, like, I have it recorded, I remember watching the video like 60 times after it happened because I couldn't get over it. It's just like
Yeah.
complete silence and then a burst of screaming from everyone. And I remember like covering my face because I'm like, oh my God, is this real? Is this actually happening?
Yeah.
Crazy electric, magical. Like, it still gives me butterflies when I think about it. I love the way that it all worked out for me, because had it been an actual ceremony, I would have had like 1+1. I would have had to, control myself
Oh
because I
my
was in public in
gosh.
front of a crowd and whatnot. So having the intimate privacy that I had was really a blessing.
That is such an amazing experience for you. Like, I love the fact that you have been working so hard as this character since 2017. And you've had to come up, like, as an actor, you've had to come up with new ways to play her, new things about her so that the fans stay excited.
Yeah.
Because, like, you have a following, which I follow you on social media because we're friends. Like,
Right.
I love seeing everything you do and you're always shining on social media, but you have a large following of people and you have, let's see, you have 69,000 followers and growing.
Mhm.
Okay. And you have on Twitter, that was on Instagram. On Twitter, you have 16,000 followers.
I do.
So
Oh my God.
yeah, so you are popping on your socials. So I can only imagine like the moment that you found out, everyone was posting. I saw people posting, and just to see your reaction, I saw you seemed floored. Like
Yeah.
you were so like you look so grateful and your speech was so great. Everybody can go watch it. Your speech was so good. So that's good that you were like able to like say your speech when you were composed, because if
Right.
you had to go and say that speech right after you found out, imagine.
I would have been done. I wouldn't have been able to say anything. My articulation would be
Yeah.
like you trying to say the title of outstanding younger actor. It would have been too much.
Oh my God, me trying to say the long title of what you are, but it's amazing nonetheless. Yeah, yes, yes.
Oh
You
man.
but how have you been able to like continue to keep your character interesting?
You know,
Because you hear about like TV stars, which you in your own right, you are a TV star now, and you have to continue to play this character for people, but also separate them from your own life.
yeah,
As an actor, you have to separate that person from like what you're going through as Victoria.
absolutely.
But how do you keep it interesting?
That is a really great question. And that's honestly one of the biggest challenges of being on a soap or on a TV show that runs as long as, Days of Our Lives does. Also, soaps, like, we film Monday through Friday. So it's not like, when Friends filmed, they filmed for a couple months and then they had a couple months off. We don't have that. So it really is challenging to bring something fresh to the character. I just The really interesting thing about playing a character for this long is that you get to make her grow. And as much as I do separate her from me, she does grow with me. Like, when I started the show, I was 20, turning 21. Now I'm turning 25. And like, Sierra was young when I was young, and we've kind of grown up together. So, like, Also, it's written in the scripts, like as she grows, at some point Sierra started um as the CEO of a major company, so that's like an interesting new fresh storyline for me to take on, to be like a boss ass businesswoman. So the writing really helps, but ultimately I don't know, it is really hard. And I think just keeping the character as fresh and realistic as possible is the only
Yeah.
way to do that. Because if you play into like too much of the drama too often, it's kind of like it drones on. So it's like, keep it fresh, keep it
Yeah.
lifted. Also, I like to find as much comedy and lighthearted moments in the show as I possibly can. So I guess that kind of helps as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely kill it. Like you and these ladies came together, your fellow Emmy nominees who are so talented as well. You guys all are on these daytime drama soap opera shows, and you were kind of talking about some of the things that you go through, like some of these struggles and just the realities of what it is to be, a working actress. But for you to get that accolade and that recognition, that's awesome because you have had to grow with Sierra through these stages of life, and just as like a woman in general, like all the stuff that we as women go through, and like you living in LA, I know how it is, like going to different events and meeting people, and just the life that you're living as a working actress. Like, talk to me about your thoughts on that, like what it's been like.
I think that especially in the past, few years, being a woman in Hollywood in this industry has changed drastically. I think that we now have a much louder voice than we used to. We are being taken more seriously. There are more women leading in film and TV now. And it just makes me so proud. Like, it gets me emotional to think how far we've come, and like, to think of all the women that had to, suffer and sit in the back seat in our past to pave the way for us to shine. Like, that makes me want to give them all a big hug. Yeah, going to events and whatnot. I mean, it's a little bit more difficult now because of COVID. I haven't really gone to many events. I
Yeah.
had a red carpet and I ended up opting no because I wasn't sure if I was comfortable yet. Like, I've been in the back seat, which has been a nice break, but it is stressful. Like, I go home, I memorize my lines for the next day, wake up at 5, wrap at 4, go home, try to get some gym time in. Like, I just got home from the gym. Um, you try to take care of yourself, and you balance self-care with your career, your actual job. And then on top of that, the networking that you have to do, the events that you have to show up at, the stress to, look good and whatnot, like carpet ready, etc. It's a lot more than one would think. So yeah, it looks super glamorous and it looks
Yeah.
fun and beautiful, and it is, like, it is, and I'm truly
Yeah.
grateful. This life is not a conventional one. Not everyone, has the privilege of experiencing this, but at the same time, with every up there is a down, and it's hard for people who aren't in it to understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, you really put that in the best way that like you could say. It's like with every up there is a down, and just because this life is like a blessed and very like privileged one, it doesn't mean that you don't also have your own struggles and that those things are not like valid, because I think that really speaks to like what it is to live in a huge city that is Los Angeles with so
Yeah.
many people, and just the entertainment industry in general. And also like because you studied to be where you're at too. Like you put in the work. Like some people will think maybe it's overnight, or some people think that, oh, where did she come from? But it's like, no, no, no. Like I went to high school at LaGuardia High
Yeah.
School in New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a school that Al Pacino went to, Jennifer Aniston, you have Timothy Chalamet, like you have all of these amazing actors that are trained, born and bred from that school, and you have that training. So what was your experience like, knowing at that age, like this is something I want to do forever and I'm going to get there and this is my path?
Yeah. I knew that I was never going to take no for an answer. So no matter what, like I would always say, if it doesn't work out for me until I'm 90, like I'm going to be the 90-year-old waiting tables and doing auditions in the back. Like that, this is it for me because it's all I want to do. When you're a creative soul and a creative person, a conventional job, a standard 9 to 5, it just won't happen. And I like to prioritize my happiness over anything. And like, I knew from the age of 7 I started doing off Broadway, and then like I was in the drama club in middle school, and then I went to LaGuardia, and it wasn't until like junior year of high school that I realized that I could actually make a career out of this. Like for me, it was always just a passion, and I never thought that it was reality because I didn't understand how to even make it in the industry. It feels like such a far-fetched dream. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do plays and whatever and blah blah blah. And then I remember one of my teachers was like, hey, so we have an audition for Teen Beach Movie 2. They want us to send some people. Do you want to audition?
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah, I want to audition. Get me on that. Like, what do you mean? I can actually be on TV? Like, what? Yeah, sign me right up. And I got signed shortly after LaGuardia. LaGuardia was a dream come true. Like I did not go to a regular high school, like the way that it's portrayed in Victorious, that Nickelodeon show, like it's very similar, or like the movie Fame, it's actually based off of my school. And it's just so cool to go to be in an educational system that's caters to what you want to do. It's not structured as, oh, you must do math and you must do this. And it's like, well, I don't want to do that. I got to do what I wanted to do. So it was like such a blessing, such a dream come true, especially in New York City, like where, you know, creativity is the heart and soul of it. It's just, this is like, this interview is actually making me be re-grateful for my life, because I'm sitting here talking about it and I'm like, damn, I've lived a really cool life, a life that makes me really happy. So, wow.
Yeah, no, it's just, it seems like the stars like really aligned for you in a way that like this was meant for you, you know, like it's something like bigger than just like a trophy. Like some people might not get it. I feel like just to know that you won an Emmy, I feel like you've achieved something like in your acting career where you studied this, you booked things, you had to audition a ton, you get signed. Like there's a process to it, and you know that's not everyone can do what you've done. It's discipline. So congratulations.
Thank you. It's discipline, but it's also like having confidence in rejection. Like, granted, yes, all of this has happened kind of quickly for me, relatively, compared to a lot of people. I am 24 and I have an Emmy. I did book this when I was 20, but it's like I did get rejected like 400 times. Like I went on audition after audition after audition where it was like, nope, nope, sorry, not you, not good enough. No, I don't like you. And it's like, you hear that, so it's 99.999% rejection. And that's something that you have to get comfortable with, saying no, and or like hearing no and being okay with it and continuing to strive for it even though you get rejected so much. So it's like you just need to be determined and motivated and confident in yourself and your ability. Like no matter how many times I got told no, never for once did I think, oh, that's it, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna go, you know, do something else. I was like, okay, if this is a no, then bring on the next one. Like,
yeah, it wasn't meant
for me, then something else will be. So that's the kind of mentality that you have to have if you don't want to be depressed in this industry, because it is depressing for a lot of people.
There is definitely like a mental health component that comes into you know, anything in the entertainment industry. I think there's definitely like a mental health component. That's why everybody in LA is always like, we have to work out, we have to have a green juice, we need like, you know, things that are zen, happy, positivity, good vibes. You know, I feel like people are very health conscious in LA with that. And it's become like a stereotype, and it's funny, but it's also like true, just because there is like that harsh reality, cutthroat side to like what we kind of signed ourselves up for. But it's like we love it, so you have to go after it. You can't like let the no's stop you to get to your yes.
Right. And you have to balance. Like I'm such an LA girl in that aspect at this point, to the point
Mhm.
where like I'll go back to New York and my friends will be like, yo, you want a bacon, egg, and cheese? And I'm like, no, I want a salad. Like,
You're like,
no,
no.
I want to take care of myself. Like
Yeah,
LA
like,
has changed me a little bit. Like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with how New Yorkers eat, but there's
Oh,
something else
absolutely.
with LA. Like, people are just, we're like that. We're like, give me like a smoothie.
Yeah. And I never thought
Go to
about it in that
creation.
perspective. Like it is true. It's like us overcompensating, taking care of
Hmm.
ourselves because the industry around us and the world in which we live. Because I do think that LA is its own little bubble
Oh,
for
it's
sure.
such a bubble. I was gonna
For
say
sure.
such a bubble.
So like in this bubble and in our little world, it's like everything, not to sound negative, but it's like, yeah, everything is kind of stacked against us. So it's like we do have to overcompensate and make ourselves feel really good on the inside and make ourselves feel healthy and happy and, you know, go to that yoga, go to that cycling, do what we can to
Ah,
show up for ourselves because no one else is going to show up for you here, you know?
that's the thing. That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's the truth. We are spitting facts. We're
Oh my
spitting
God.
truth on.
Brain juice. Here you go.
Yes. Well, I do want to say that I am excited because you have starred in a few Lifetime movies.
Yeah.
So it would be really cool to see you like continue to go into that world. Is that something that you're interested in doing, is getting into film?
Yeah, I want to go back to film. I started in film. I have this one horror film, actually, the first movie that I ever shot when I was freshly 18.
Mhm.
And it hasn't come out yet. It's coming out like at the end of this year or something. So that's
That's
gonna be
so
really
cool.
funny to watch, like a child, like the child version of me acting and
Oh
whatnot.
my
It's gonna be crazy as
gosh.
hell.
How
Um,
cool. That's like a time capsule.
yeah, yeah, it is. But yeah, I really want to get back into film. That's partially or like pretty much the main reason why I decided not to renew my contract with the show is so that I could give myself an opportunity to pursue film or other TV shows and or whatnot. But film I love because it's so versatile. Like you get to film one role, immerse yourself in it fully, and then be done with it, and then on to the next, you know?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to keep my juices flowing and like my wheels turning, and I want to challenge myself with different characters again. So that's something that I'm very excited to get back into.
Yeah, and as you should, because you're clearly very talented. So it's going to be like so exciting to see you explore different avenues of like what characters interest you and like what you end up doing. You know, I'm so excited to see you continue to ride out your career. I love you so
You.
much. You're the
Oh my
best.
God,
And
thank you.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
so much fun. I can't believe that we're doing this. I love it.
I know. I love it too. We'll have to get together once COVID and the Delta and everything settles out. I know that it's been like scary in LA. Everybody has to like mask up and like
Yeah.
really stay indoors to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we can do this. We'll have to catch up again soon once we
Yeah.
see what you're doing next.
That's for sure.
Thank you so much and congratulations again.
Oh, thank you, love. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. Bye.
Bye.